I've always wanted to be a father. Even as a child, I wanted to start over, correct my father's mistakes, nurture love where he grew fear. I didn't like his lullabies, so I wanted the chance to rewrite his lyrics, rearrange his melodies, revamp his composition. His lyrics were so angry, rage metallizing first the vowels, then the consonants. The letters were so sharp that they sliced my skin when I got too close, cutting me open and refusing to let me heal. His melodies were so cold, frosty notes that fell on my tongue like snowflakes. I would wait hours for them to melt into tenderness or affection, but they never did. My mouth eventually grew numb from the cold, and my jaw grew sore from being agape. His composition was so rigid, passed down from his own father through concrete strikes and stone attacks. I waited in my garden for him to bring me flowers, but all he put into the fertile soil were rocks, hard, rough, and unmoving. I will not do him the unkindness of claiming his lullabies were loveless, for they were not. They were sung with an immense amount of affection, enough to fill a million oceans with a single drop. But if you're not careful, you could drown the objects of your love when you only meant to quench their thirst, tipping fluid down their throat in a strangle instead of a sip. Unfortunately for me, I was strangled frequently, drowning more often than I breathed. If you were taught to love by hurting, then of course you would hurt the ones you love. When I tried to rewrite his lyrics, I found that the very language they were in were rageful. All these words could only be used to paint images of violence and blame. So I emptied the palette and found colors that could create images of love and tenderness. In this new language, rage could no longer metallize the letters. All the words now caressed my skin instead of cutting it. When I tried to rearrange his melodies, I found that the very scales they were in were frozen. All these notes could only be used to draw pictures of distance and withdrawal. So I snapped the pencil in half and grabbed a piece of charcoal that could create pictures of closeness and intimacy. In these new scales, snowflakes could no longer pile atop my tongue. All the tunes now warmed my mouth. When I tried to revamp his composition, I found that the very systems they were in were rigid. All these conventions could only be used to plant weeds of generational trauma. So I dug into the earth and clawed out every last root. In this new system, rocks could no longer block the tributaries of my bloodline. Flowers bloom where they were once buried. The lullabies I sing bear no resemblance to the lullabies of my childhood. I know that when my children hear my songs, they won't feel frightened. Instead, they will feel loved, protected, safe. One would think that this brings me great envy, but it actually brings me great pride. For when I sing, my voice burns away generational curses. For when I sing, my father sings with me, having learned from me what this new song sounds like. For when we sing, the little boy I was heals a little bit, as does the little boy he used to be.